we're back to explore the latest addition to Valheim, the Bog Witch. This update introduces a new trader in the swamp, along with more items and a new feast mechanic. Well, that's about all we knew before checking it out. As we first looked around, we noticed that there were fewer options available at the cauldron, and that was because some of the recipes had been moved to 2 new crafting stations. There was the food preparation table that, believe it or not, was used to prepare food. In particular, those that either needed to be cooked in the oven or used in combination with other tools. There was also the mead kettle, which took me over a minute to find in the build menu. Don't worry, I've been assured that this is normal for Valheim professionals such as myself. This one needed to be placed over a fire, so we made our kitchen just a little more crowded. Here we found a new mead, along with all the old ones that we've come to know and accidentally use. This new Lightfoot mead increases jump height while reducing the jump stamina cost. It works too well because if you have enough jump skill, you start to take damage from jumping on the spot. Also, the feather cape no longer increases jump height, so now you need to use this instead. Rest in peace. To check out the other new items, we knew we'd need to find the witch and see what she had on sale. We guessed it worked like the other traders in that she can only spawn in unexplored areas, this time in the swamp. That meant we first needed to return to the Ashlands to pick up our spare boat. On our trip to the boat, a lot of innocent blood was spilled along the way, including that of a friendly diverger who got angry after accidentally taking a few ice bullets from me. While it was a shame to take all of these poor lives, it had to be done to get to the boat. Let's pretend we didn't see that. From there, we quietly and respectfully packed up the boat before returning to our harbour and setting sail from there. As usual, this was quite a cinematic voyage. I could tell my friend was still nervous because the last time that he sailed, he got us all killed and lost the boat. Luckily, this time nothing of the sort happened, and it wasn't much longer until we saw a new icon on the map. With some backup, we headed to the witch's hut, and out the front found probably the most chill Greydrawf in existence.
He's tame, he's one of the good ones.
Waiting for us inside was the witch, and after having a quick look at the things she was selling, we noticed the Kvaster, a self-sweeping broom that was essentially the Viking equivalent of the Roomba. And, just like with Roombas, if you hit them, they hit back.
What did you guys do? I'm trying to shop here.
Our shopping experience was mildly inconvenienced until we bravely took out these brooms. I picked up a trophy, which turned out to be just a broom. And in case you were wondering, here's what happens when 100 of these Kvaster fight 100 Fulings. Now you can't say this video didn't teach you anything. Anyway, we bought one of every item that the witch was selling, and by getting the new serving tray, we unlocked some amazing dishes that everyone could enjoy, such as a raw onion. Back at the base, while swapping the items we bought to unlock new crafting recipes, I accidentally drank the love potion. We had no idea what it did, and checking the active effects menu didn't tell us anything useful. Love potion, all is fair in love and war, what the fuck? It only lasted for 5 minutes, so I rushed to try and hit up a greyling and live out my fantasies, but nothing. Later on I looked it up to find out what it did, and if you can read quickly, you can now find out too. Yeah, pretty cool, hey? We then tried brewing some of the other new potions. There is the Berserker mead, which for 20 seconds turns you into a glass cannon by greatly reducing the stamina usage for combat, at the cost of making you weak to incoming physical attacks. The Tonic of Ratatosk adds 10 to your run skill and increases movement speed by 15%. I shouldn't even need to tell you that because it should be obvious from these lines coming off the player. There was also the Brew of Animal Whispers, which reduces the time to tame an animal. To test it out, I found a boar and started to trap it by digging a hole. Never mind. Eventually, I found myself a second boar, and this one was less suicidal. Normally it takes 30 minutes to tame an animal, but with this potion, that time has been halved. This means you can finally spend your time doing more important things like covering your floors with carrots. But more on that later. The anti-sting concoction prevents death skeetos from damaging you, allowing you to safely ride on their backs. Unfortunately, this effect does not carry over to Loxes. There's no way I'm pronouncing all of these properly, but the draft of Vananadir halves the stamina used while swimming, allowing you to suffer for longer before you finally, eventually, and inevitably drown. Finally, the meat of Troll Endurance temporarily increases carry capacity by 250. Personally, I think I'm most excited for this one when I think back to all the times this would have been so useful while grinding out iron in the swamp. With the potions out of the way, we wanted to try out a feast. Compared to regular food, feasts provide 10 portions and keep you full for 50 minutes. There is a feast for each biome, using ingredients from that area. We noticed we hadn't unlocked all of them, so we looked through the recipes until finding out that we'd never made the Queen's Jam or Yggdrasil porridge on this world. For shame. Yep, there it is.
Nice.
We still haven't finished the Ashlands, so we settled on making the Mistlands one for now. Just as we were having some drinks before our feast, we were interrupted by the new raid event. This one consisted of wraiths normally found in the swamp, and ghosts from the burial chambers. If you've forgotten about those ghosts, imagine if Casper did 25 slash damage, and that was pretty much what we were dealing with here. After the battle was won, we had even more reason to celebrate. I got the lighting just right, used the serving tray to place the feast, and then we proceeded to stuff ourselves with this delicious food.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
Until we ended up downing even more drinks. And of course, after all that, it turned out we'd drunk too much, so we did some recycling instead.
Gordon Ramsay's gonna love this.
By the way, the serving tray allows you to place anything edible without needing an item stand, so there is no more of this happening. This makes it so much easier to cover your floors with all the vegetables you need to impress your friends.
What the hell is going on here?
What is this?
Not just that, but if you don't have a serving tray, they're also very hard to pick up.
You just hold it, or do you have to? Oh, I'm eating if I spare me.
I'm already full.
Yeah, oh my
goddamn
god, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't
Just
eat
eat
more carrot
them. Oh my god.
There are a couple of other cool new things in this patch. Firstly, there is the Scythe, which allows you to harvest more quickly. This links into one of the 3 new skills. Increasing farming skill makes using both the Scythe and Cultivator more efficient. More interestingly, it also increases the chance to pick up an extra copy of the item you're harvesting. The crafting skill makes using the hammer more efficient, reduces time to craft, and increases the chance of making an extra copy of whatever it is that you're making. I only had to make this many clubs until I got an extra one for free. Nice. The cooking skill works similarly, and is especially cool if you're really bad at cooking like I am, because even if you burn the shit out of something, you'll still level up the skill. They've also introduced another cool little quality of life feature. By holding shift, you can now make 5 of something at once, which is great if you're looking to craft as many clubs as I was. And I've saved the best for last. There are some new emotes that you can try out until the sexual tension is just too much. This is almost certainly the most important part of the update. So while we watch 1000 Fuelings take on 500 Kavastas, I'll give you my initial thoughts on this update. I think most of these additions are pretty sweet, but I'd need to start a new playthrough to see how useful some of them truly are. The fact that the new skills give you a chance to get a free copy of an item is great, and by comparing these skills with your friends, you can now figure out who is pulling their weight and who isn't.
What the fuck are you throwing? Shit. Oh, I just got back in time. Oh, and I think I'm dead anyway. I'm burning. Yeah, just
Got him!
fucking 25 HP.
I wonder how that happened.
Fuck.
The longer duration of feasts helps distinguish them from regular food, and I think it's an interesting way to get some more life out of old ingredients. On the other hand, I'm not sure about needing to make even more crafting stations, and I wonder if splitting the cauldron's build menu into different categories would have been easier. By design, most of the potions are pretty niche, which is fine since there wouldn't be enough inventory space to carry them all of the time anyway. A few of them require a particular fish to make, so for those I had to use dev commands to take a look at them. If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know the lengths that I'll go to in this game, but it turned out that going fishing was just asking too much. Up until now, I've really struggled to figure out why I'm not able to catch any fish, so leave a comment if you have any tips, or if you have any other thoughts about this new update. So that's it for today. I really wanted to thank those of you who have donated, and in particular my patrons Ahmad, Colesnail, Sue and Wayne. I named a lot of skeletons after you guys, but most of that footage got cut out, so here's some of that now. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Cheers.